I'm Kay Bess, and this is The Beehive. Women in voiceover, the voices of the fairer sex that keep the wheels of commerce and creativity moving in this country. Voices you hear every day, but names you likely don't know until now. Oh, good afternoon, everybody. I don't know. Is it afternoon where you are? It's afternoon here. My guest today in the Beehive is Melanie Minichino. If you don't know Melanie, you're going to know Melanie. She is Ana Corazon, Spider-Girl in the newly released Marvel SpiderMan on Disney XD. She also plays the role of Watts on Nick's Blaze and the Monster Machine. She has been the promo voice for Disney Junior since 2010. She's the voice of Exuberant Witness on Halo. Queen Isabella on Mr. Peabody and Sherman. So jealous of that. And I'm just so happy to say that we both are in the cast of Agents of Mayhem, which was just released a couple of weeks ago. And Melanie plays the role of Fortune. She is a playable agent.
That's right.
Totally awesome character. So welcome to the Beehive, Melanie.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So here we are. Tell me about the process of landing the role of Spider-Girl in a Marvel comic.
Oh my gosh. I know. It sounds so good when you say it.
It is so good. Even on paper, it's good. It's
great. It's Marvel.
It's
Marvel's
a coveted thing.
Yes, thank you. You know, I had no idea what I was auditioning for. I was 8 months pregnant. It was really hot. And my agent said, I have an in-person audition for you. That's all. There was 4 lines in the audition. So I showed up, I auditioned. Literally, I knew nothing about the character. And if you know, Spider-Girl, Anya, is Latin, but I didn't know that, but she does have a Latin accent. So when I went in and I auditioned, I was all chipper. I did my audition. I thought I did a great job. And then she said, you know that she's Latin, right? She has an accent. And I was like, I had no idea. Okay, no problem. So I did it in my accent that I get booked on a lot for, and I left and I didn't really think about it.
So you only had the name Anya.
Actually,
right?
it was Anna.
It was Anna. Okay.
It was Anna.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. Yes, because it was top secret, right?
Yeah.
So then I left. I think I went and had that pregnancy salad in the valley that's supposed to induce your labor, but it didn't work.
There's a pregnancy salad?
Yeah, there's like this dressing. I actually went with my agent, she had her baby at the time. And
Carly, was it Carly?
It was Carly, and she took me to get that salad,
that
but it didn't work.
So
yeah,
funny.
There's like something in the dressing that's supposed to make you give birth there at the restaurant.
That's so fantastic. Yeah. And did you go into labor?
No, of course not. No.
So you went and had a salad after this audition, and then what happened?
I waited. I forgot about it, and then Heather called me and said, and when she called, usually,
Heather
when she calls
is her
you,
agent.
That's right.
One of her other agents.
Yeah, she's wonderful. And when she, if you get a smaller booking, sometimes it's just an email, but when they call you, it's probably something good.
Yeah.
You hope.
Yeah.
So she called me and she said, I have really good news. You booked the role of, I think it was whatever it was. We still didn't really know. Anna, she said, but we knew it was from Marvel SpiderMan. And she was so excited. And I was so excited too. I mean, I really didn't know much about the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Which, sounds bad now, but it was probably working in my favor at the time.
Yeah. You get less nervous if you don't know that it's an iconic,
I didn't know
series.
anything. Yeah, I didn't even know that Anya was Spider-Girl literally till the first day of my session, where someone next to me said, hey, you know you're Spider-Girl, right? And I was like, oh, yeah. I know that, of course. But so I booked it, and then the first day of the record was my due date.
Wow.
And I was so nervous.
You were in total creation mode.
Oh, yeah. I was so nervous that I wouldn't be able to make the first session. Like, I didn't actually really care about I was like, I need the job. which is just bad. But they ended up pushing it and it worked out. But Quinn was 4 days old the first session.
Wow. Wow. You went to a session 4 days after.
And it was a 4-hour session because we record as an ensemble.
Yeah.
And they were so nice. They let her come to the session.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah. We were at Bang Zoom and they let me have her upstairs and they let me leave and breastfeed and come back. And it was amazing. It was a dream.
Wow. That's awesome.
Awesome. It was awesome. And so, it's been about 2 years. We recorded 2 full seasons. And I'm still there.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. We would joke around because, they were replacing people here and there. And every time the mixer would come in to adjust someone's mic, we'd be like, uh-oh, someone's out. Someone's leaving. Someone just got fired. But I don't know. They kept me around there. So
that's good. That's a testament. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking when you start seeing people like, uh-oh.
Dropping like flies.
Yeah, like people are not surviving this casting.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I feel pretty lucky to be part of it. And they've included me in everything that they do press-wise for it.
Of course, so because you're Spider-Girl.
Yeah, I guess so, because I'm Spider-Girl. So I'll take it.
Long may Spider-Girl live. That is so great.
Yeah, and she's never been portrayed on screen before.
Wow, so you actually kind of get to create her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's I think like the only character in the series that they haven't portrayed, so I really get to kind of do my own thing.
You realize that 30 years from now, when the children who are watching it now start working at, animation houses and they recreate the series, they're going to be like, Melanie Minichino.
Oh gosh.
Man, I feel so lucky that you to follow in your footsteps.
Oh gosh.
That's how it's going to be.
That would be amazing. I hope that happens.
That's how everybody feels about Linda Carter and Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
She's the gal, right?
Yeah. That would be awesome. I just want my daughter to think I'm kind of cool, but if I can affect a lot of young girls, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. She's a really strong character. She portrays women to be very strong, intelligent, funny, smart.
That's great.
Not a damsel in distress. She's tough.
Excellent. And she's so it's well written.
Very well written. All the female characters are strong. The relationships are good. They're funny. The women actually are funny.
So they're like 3-dimensional characters.
Totally like 3-dimensional characters. It's incredible. It's the first time it's ever been done.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, you're the woman.
Yeah.
Do you have a home studio?
I do. Yep.
What's it like?
So the house that we live in, there was a wine cellar in the basement. Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me you got rid of the wine cellar to put in a studio.
There was no wine in there.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes we bring wine down there. But it was a perfect room for a studio. Yeah. And we totally transformed it. And it's perfect. It's not anything fancy.
What kind of equipment do you have?
So I have a Sennheiser 416, and I record on Audacity, sometimes Twisted Wave, because it's so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the easiest thing on the planet. I can't even mess around with Pro Tools. I'm like, no.
Did that for years.
Yeah.
It's a total waste of time.
Yeah. You kind of get the same thing with Audacity. It's just as good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then for when I travel, I do the Shure.
X2U?
Yeah.
Isn't that the best thing ever?
It's incredible. I
have one.
Okay. I have
it's my travel gear.
Yeah, you hold it in your hand. It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
I sometimes think, I should just use that. For
that's what I
for
use.
Home.
I use it at home every day.
It's so great.
And then I use when I travel Source Connect or IPDTL. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have IPDTL?
Yeah.
That's an awesome service too. I did a podcast this morning with a voice talent in North Carolina.
Oh yeah. It's being used more and more.
Yeah.
Everyone has it. So,
and now you can actually get a dedicated ISDN line with it.
I heard. I literally today, one of the mixers just told me that. That's right. And it's not even that expensive.
No, it's $100 a year. $100 a year.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, we got a little geeky there.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper. It makes so much more sense.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is great. So Spidey girl, what's your dream job? Do you have a dream job? Are you living the dream? Is this the dream?
Yeah.
I know you do on-camera stuff too. Yeah. So if you have a dream and
of course. I mean, the dream. Yeah, absolutely. I have a dream for on-camera, but for voiceover rights, I feel like I'm doing what I want to be doing, which is really nice to say, but
yeah, isn't it?
yeah,
That's great.
I mean, I think the dream job is to do something that's creatively fulfilling
Yeah.
and also continuous.
Yes, right.
Continuous for years would be nice.
Yeah. Seasons,
yeah. And then you just know you're working.
Just imagine for a moment being on The Simpsons.
Like, gosh,
just for a moment. That's all.
No,
I
really can't.
Need.
It's too much for me.
It's too much.
It's too much. Well, that's a dream. Well, yeah. I guess if I were to say, like, to be a dream job would to do something adult comedy, animated
like
series,
prime time,
totally would be like that's the dream job.
Yeah,
that's it.
Futurama or
Bob's Burgers. That's it.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Do you also do commercial work?
Yeah. Like for voiceover.
Yeah.
I do commercial work. It's, it's funny. It's like sometimes when the animation stuff ramps up, the commercial stuff is on the side a little bit and vice versa. So it's nice.
Isn't that a great reason to be diversified? I mean,
totally.
to have, because it's true. It does kind of come in waves.
Yeah.
Each of them.
Yeah. I can't imagine just doing one part of it. I know that some voiceover actors are with agencies that won't push them in other directions, and I find that to be so odd.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Unless you're really not good at something, then
right.
Stay away.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some people who are, particularly suited to promo work, who aren't suited to animation work. And it's a different,
100%.
It really is a different bag.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do a lot of promos.
Oh, you do? I was just going to ask you if you did promo work. Yeah.
So,
of course you do, because you're the Disney Junior.
Yeah. Well, that's a interesting story how that happened. I could go into that.
Yes, I would like to know it.
But
as would our dear listeners.
Yes, I will. I will let you know. But when I was doing promos every single day for hours and hours, I would go to do a commercial audition or something, and my reads would be really off because I was
different.
Totally different, and I was too much smile, especially now the style that's like, are they even doing a voiceover, or they seem like they're not even trying. It's like the complete opposite from what you're doing in promo. And so I didn't, when I first got that job, I didn't work for a year in anything else but promo.
How interesting.
Yeah. I was like so excited to have this job, but then I was like, well, I'm not doing anything else. And I really had to work my way back to kind of getting rid of that sound.
Yeah.
Where you're doing it all the time.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
Yeah. I'm like walking around talking like a Disney princess. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
With super high energy.
That's right. Yeah. Everything ending up.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Oh my God. That's so great. It's really true. It's really true how each facet of voiceover, in some ways, they all employ a lot of the same mental technique. Like, who are you talking to? Why is this important? What are you trying to convey? Like, I do that work in commercial work too, and in promo work and affiliate work too. But the outcome is so different because the style is so different, and the words that you emphasize are so different. And it really, I've had that same experience of like, wow, I can't remember how to read a commercial.
Yeah, you really, kind of become like a machine, the promo machine, where you got to hit this amount of seconds and end like this, and the next sentence has to turn. It's like you just become a machine, and so you really have to. I mean, I've had to do lots of work to get out of that. I'm stuck in the rut of
a promo read, right?
Read, yeah.
So you get stuck in a promo read, and it starts to affect your commercial auditions. And you were saying that you felt like you didn't work for a year when you first were doing.
I got like this great gig, and then I wasn't working and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to me? What happened? So it took work to get back.
Yeah.
To the other, to be able to separate the two, step away from the promo work, and then just switch gears.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was possible. I got out of it.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It is like a little groove on a record, and it gets stuck in the groove, and you gotta how do I get the needle out? Yeah. That's such an old reference, right?
Oh, I listen to records, but maybe that's because I live in Silver Lake.
Yeah, right.
So
if you live in Silver Lake, you have to have a turntable.
Yeah, exactly.
So, my dear listeners, I'm turning on the air conditioning because it's brutally hot in this studio, and I don't want us to suffer.
Okay, well, you can noise remove that, right?
As much as we would suffer on your behalf. But So there might just be a lovely low hum. Think of it as the ocean. So you were going to tell me how this Disney
How it happened.
job came about.
Yeah.
Right? This promo gig.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's crazy. Okay. Well, it was another year where I hadn't worked. I mean, little jobs here and there, but nothing substantial. And I was on a trip with a friend for her birthday in Mexico. And I was sitting at the pool doing something really cheesy. I was visualizing. I was visualizing because I'm born and raised in New York, and I lived in New York, and I was visualizing palm trees because I was like, I need to get out there. And no joke, I walked up to my hotel room, and I had a message from John that said,
John, agent.
That's right.
Atlas
that's
Talent
right.
in New York.
And he said, call me right away. We need to talk. Okay. So I call him and he said,
sometimes that's not a good message, you know? Like, uh-oh.
I wasn't sure. Well, honestly, I was like, are they going to drop me?
Yeah,
It's been a minute. Are they going to drop me? I was worried. So then I called him back and he said, hey, that Disney promo, it was a voice match. It was a promo voice match. They want to hear you again. They want to call back. So is there anywhere you can record? There was nowhere. I mean, I was like, no, there was absolutely no way I could record.
I
was in Mexico and like Cabo or something cheesy like that.
Yeah.
And there was no way. So he said, fly to LA for the callback. He was in LA. And I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's a crazy thing to do, to on your own dime, fly somewhere for a callback. But I thought, this is weird timing, So
well, and usually, I mean, John isn't the kind of guy who's going to say, fly to it, for a callback.
Unless he thought maybe,
there was something.
Exactly. So on the way home to New York, I flew to LA. He picked me up.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he picked me up. He kept saying, driving Miss Melanie. He said it like 30 times. He picked me up, drove me to the callback, sat in there for the callback. And they hadn't, I was doing the callback, but the person who was voicing it before was still on the spot.
Yeah.
So I could hear her as I'm speaking.
Yeah.
So it was really confusing because, I'd done a lot of promo, but not like that.
Yeah.
So I did the callback.
And were they asking you to sort of keep it in the same cadence? I mean, they were asking for a voice match?
It was a voice match, but honestly, we don't have the same voice. So it's very strange that.
There's so much about voice matching that's rhythm, though.
Oh, yeah, it was the rhythm.
Yeah.
Because, I wasn't voice matching. So then I left, and I went home the next day, and I was really happy living in Brooklyn with my boyfriend. Everything was great, and I hadn't heard for a week, and I was like, you know what? I don't want the job. I don't want to go. I want to stay here. My family's here. I don't want to leave New York. I'm going to stay. And then that day, I got a call from John. He said, okay, you got the job. You have to tell me by the end of the day, and you're leaving in 2 weeks. Because I had to move to LA for the job, which is really kind of unheard of now to move for a voiceover. I mean, you can do it from anywhere. They really
this
want.
Was a decade ago, though, right? Was it?
Well,
how long
it was
ago
7 years ago.
Okay,
literally, exactly, it's probably 7 years ago. Yeah, that's still kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but I said yes.
But you went. It was a job where you would actually go. You actually go to Disney.
So I would have. That's why they wanted me there. So I'd go into the studio. But so here's the thing. They said the contract was every 6 months they have the option. You don't because you have no rights.
Right. Yeah.
Ever.
You have no rights.
And it was a 3-year contract or 4, something like that. And I thought, I'll go for 6 months. I'll probably end up coming back, whatever. I left. No more. I broke up with the boyfriend and I stayed in LA. And here we are today. Still have the job. Gosh, I can't believe I still have that job.
And here you are in the Beehive.
And here I am in the Beehive telling the story. Yeah.
That's a great story. That's crazy.
It's crazy. He that was a good call. He made a great call.
Well, there's a reason.
If I didn't go.
That Atlas Talent is what it is.
That's right. If I didn't go. And I stayed in the Atlas apartment for 2 weeks because they had just gotten here. So it was crazy. It was crazy. And here I am.
That is so cool.
Yeah. I didn't know anyone. I just said, yep.
Here I am. That is a fantastic story.
Yeah, it's a good story. It really, for me goes to show that the stuff that sometimes you push so hard to get, you don't get. And then the stuff that is supposed to be happening, if you just say yes and you're there, it's happening for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's how voiceover happened for me too.
That's like I don't know, there's something a little bit ignorance is bliss in that, 100%. Right? Because, I mean, if somebody tells you that you're reading for some big, fat, juicy thing, it's like, you know what, you have an audition and you're going to be reading with Brad Pitt. You'd be like,
I'd pass out immediately.
I know, you would fall over. But, and I think probably I would do that if I didn't know it was Brad Pitt, but then I walked in the room and there was Brad Pitt, I'd probably fall over right there.
Yeah.
But
yes.
It's just, but you wouldn't have spent a week before freaked out and sweating and nervous and anxious.
That's right.
You know?
It was literally the day before I left, and I was so in it that I didn't really realize what was going on.
That is super exciting. I love that story.
Yeah, but that's like everything.
That's choice.
Yeah.
It's choice beehive
That's
material.
right. Everything that's happened to me has been because I've been caught in kind of like not really thought about it much, and then said yes, and then something incredible happened.
Yeah, you got to say yes.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've sort of encountered any obstacles along the road? Like, has there been a pivotal time where you're like, oh, how am I going to pick myself up out of this circumstance? I mean, it could be with regard to your entire career, because again, I want to say that you do on-camera work as well.
I feel like I go through that cyclically every couple of years. I don't know. I'm trying to always find myself or reinvent something that maybe I'm not working in this department and I got to put more focus on that. But once you do, then it usually pans out to working out. But there was definitely times like when I didn't work for a year and I thought they were going to drop me, or moving here and not really knowing anyone and only doing Disney and being like, what am I doing here? I left my entire family and everything, and it worked out. Yeah. I ended up having a family and it worked out. But I don't know. I think as a creative person, even just emotionally, you go through these times where you're trying to find yourself, find your voice, find what you're supposed to be doing here on this earth.
Is there a pattern or a particular process that you go through when that happens, as you cycle? Like,
it's a lot of tequila involved.
I've switched to vodka. I have always been a tequila girl, but I discovered this ruby red vodka, which is like grapefruit infused vodka. That sounds
delicious.
Really, really good. It's too good.
Ooh.
It's too good.
Yeah, vodka gives me hangovers. Tequila I can drink all night.
Tequila doesn't give me a hangover, but nor does vodka. Only red wine.
So you can really, red wine too.
Yeah.
It's usually usually what happens is it's kind of slow. And then you're not busy enough to not think about that it's slow and that you're not being fulfilled in certain areas. And then I'll do some journaling and I'll do some meditation and all the stuff that you do here in LA.
In Silver Lake.
Go on a cleanse. Yeah.
For the labor salad.
Yeah, you go get the labor salad even when you're not pregnant. Right.
Because you're trying to give birth to
something. You're trying to purge. That's right. So, but then you get, you know what? The thing I think to always remember in those times that are dark, because they're there, that it comes around. Without those times, you're never going to know what the good times are like. And you just have to trust instead of getting in like the depressive mind state that I think a lot of us go through.
Yeah.
That it's going to happen.
I've gotten to this point where, and it's funny because this happens all the time. This is a strange choice of words, but it's like we lose jobs to people we know. Yeah. It happens all the time. It happens every week, right?
Of course.
And it's not really like we can't lose it because we didn't possess it in the first place, but
it wasn't your job.
It wasn't your job, right? But it's that sense of that, you have this hope of booking a thing, and then a friend will get it, and there's a strange sense of like a possessive feeling that you have about a particular job, especially if you're super suited to it,
Yeah.
But I've actually had a couple of jobs where I actually did have the job,
oh gosh,
and then lost the job, to a friend, and that's a really interesting feeling.
That's hard.
It's hard.
Gosh, that's hard.
But the thing I learned from it is all of this that we just spoke of, which is it's never really yours. It's never really yours.
Never.
And that is, and to hold things loosely, it's like you're fortunate to have work and when it comes your way and when it sticks for a while, know? And, but that's where I learned to just give myself 2 days. Like I have 2 days
You're allowed,
to cry
2 days.
my little eyes out and pour me and get out the violins and drink the tequila, that 2 days. And then it's like, what's next? You know?
Because you're sitting in that for yourself. You're making that bad.
Exactly.
Everyone else is moving on.
Yes. Yeah. And so I think I know for myself, it's this feeling of like, just let me cry in my soup. Okay. And then I'll get over it. But there's something cathartic about that process, and my stuff too includes sort of dreaming, however you do journaling or whatever, how do you start to wrap your brain around the larger picture of why you're here and that this is a
trust.
little bump, and exactly that you trust and you're moving forward. And, there's always something to learn from every
that's
experience.
the thing. And I think the longer that you're in this, what I've learned is, I overanalyze everything, even, should I not have said that? Should I said that? Should I do this? But I've learned to kind of let go, even when I'm leaving auditions. Sometimes you'll think about something you did and should you have done it a different way. I don't even do that. I just leave and I forget about it.
Even for on camera?
That's harder. That's the most challenging.
Yeah.
That's the most challenging, and that's where I've struggled the most. But I still just leave, and I forget. I have to forget. I have to, for myself, to not torture myself. Yeah. I have to just forget about it. I'll lose sleep. I already don't sleep to begin with. I'll lose so much sleep if you just have to trust that you're doing the best that you can do and that, your job is there because it happens. It always does.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen for a really long time, then you probably should stop.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, we get certain auditions because other people lose their job. I mean, there's a change in the advertising campaign, and that campaign is now over.
That's right.
And so somebody else is going to be the voice of whatever airline,
Yeah.
That may have been you for 2 years, but
that's happened
guess
to me.
what? It's, me too.
Yeah.
And it's all part of the deal. So I think the longer you're in it and the more you experience those things and the more you realize, oh, I got that job. Oh, she used to have that job. Now I have that
That's
job.
right.
And you sort of sit on both sides of that, and that's just
I will
part
lose
of the deal.
My Disney job eventually. I have to. It just, that's the way it is. So I'll take it right now and be happy that I have it. And then one day it'll be gone and I'll cry for a little bit and then it'll be the next gig,
I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember this voice actor's name, but it was Ed Grover. Ed Grover is who it is. He was the voice of MasterCard for like 20 years. Really long time.
That's amazing.
He was the voice that said, I'm sorry, it wasn't MasterCard, it was Visa. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Do you remember that campaign?
Of course.
It was
kidding?
like, well, he's not doing that campaign. And then everybody thought like, oh my God, he's been that voice literally for 2 decades.
It's incredible.
And so what a ridiculous job that is. I mean, crazy. But, I'm sure 10 years in, everybody was like, yeah, he'll always have that job. It's his. It's so branded. He is MasterCard. He is Visa. Sorry.
Yeah.
Really.
He is American Express.
He is American Express. That's really what I meant to say. Yeah. Like it's never going to change, but of course it changes.
Yeah. Because there's going to be a new VP who wants to just do their new thing and change the marketing. And that's how it goes.
Billy Crudup. He's the one who took it over.
The celebrities always get the jobs.
I know,
They
right?
always get the big campaigns.
He was very good at it, though, I have to say. I don't mind celebrities on campaigns as long as they're good. They have to be good. If they suck, then it's like, well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Go get a professional.
Which happens a lot.
A lot. So, I know, right? If you had to name one person who really helped propel your career forward, is there somebody that you could name that you could point to and go, oh, this thing happened and it changed my life?
I had no interest or idea really what voiceover even was because I was doing TV and film. And then I did an on-camera campaign for the Speed Channel. Do you know this? It's a racing channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard of it.
Yeah. It's pretty niche, although there's a lot of people who are into NASCAR.
A niche can be very big.
That's right. Like this. So
all I have to do is go to a Comic-Con.
Oh,
and
yeah.
right?
And then you'll find out. You'll see there's thousands of people.
Yeah.
So I did this on-camera campaign for the channel where I was like the face of the channel. And the producer, so we needed to do VO for the campaign. So I had never done VO, but they brought me in and I did the VO for it. It was cool. And then the producer said, hey, you're really good at this. You should contact my friend David at Atlas in New York. This was
this David Lyerly?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I contacted him and I was like, hey, I was so naive. I was like, hey, so-and-so told me I should come check you out.
I should do
voiceover. Yeah. Should I come in? And I had no idea. I went in, I read for him. I had no idea what I was doing. I really was not that good. But I don't know. They signed me. And so that guy, Glenn, I'll never forget his name, Glenn Kestner, that producer, he changed my life. Because the day I signed with Atlas, it changed everything.
So Atlas has been your only agency.
That's right.
And so you've been doing voiceover for how long?
10 years.
10 years.
10 or 11 years, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I actually sent him a message recently because he reached out to me. And I was like, I wouldn't be here in LA living this life if that one moment of him saying, you should call my friend, changed everything.
Just that little moment.
Just
a little thing.
Who knows if I would have been in voiceover for,
Yeah, you wonder. Those are the kind of, really, if another producer had been there that day, or if he had just chosen not to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would I have known? I was not even in the realm of things that I was interested in. I was blindly went into it. And David really supported me in the beginning.
David has a very good ear.
He's incredible ear. Incredible ear.
Yeah. So you had to have been good.
He literally booked me on the day I signed with Atlas, he booked me on my first job. He just pitched me.
Do you remember what it was?
It was an MTV promo. And he was like, go ahead. I just pitched you. Just go in and, kill it. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
Oh, that's so great. But you had a little bit of experience doing that for a channel.
Yeah, about an hour of experience. But yeah, and it changed everything. And then it just every year got better and better, except for the lulls here and there.
Yeah. Which everybody has.
Yeah. And of course, Heather at Atlas has been a big supporter.
Yeah.
And has given me some really good guidance throughout the years.
Yeah.
When I started there, she was assisting David.
She was assisting David?
I think so, right?
Yeah, I thought she was always John's assistant in New York.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong about that.
But she was working with him too, I think. Yeah.
I'm sure she wrong about that. Yeah, she was a force of nature from the start.
Yeah. Yes, she sure is.
Trying to get her to come on the podcast.
Oh, she'd be great. She's a great talker.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to.
Maybe you'll get her. Maybe you'll get her to do it.
I think she has this idea that there's going to be a camera on her. I'm like, there's no camera. I edit. There's no, you don't have to worry.
She's done stuff like that. She talks in front of people all the time.
All the time. I know. She thinks it's going to be too much attention on her, which is true. It is attention on you, but it's just having a conversation.
That's it.
I'm like, I'll pour you a glass of wine if you want. That would make you feel better.
Yeah, you get her in here. Sauce her up a little bit.
I have to try. I will. I'll sauce her up. Yeah. Then I'll get her to answer. Then I'll get her in here.
Then
and
you get some dirt.
Then I'm going to get some stories.
Yeah.
Stories I want to hear. Wahaha. Let me see. Oh, this is a good question for you. You touched on it a little bit because you were pregnant when you auditioned for Spidey.
That's right.
You had just given birth 4 days after having, I'm sorry, you did your first session 4 days after having given birth.
Yeah. I actually did a session while I was having contractions at home for Disney.
Amazing.
You can't lose that job. You got to be available.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Just give me a second to push.
Yeah.
And I'll be
right
she's
back
out.
With All right, I'm ready for a take 2.
They're coming every 6 minutes, so I can give you a couple takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much time?
Yeah. Wow. You were also pregnant when you started work on Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier off mic when you were trying to figure out how long we did voice work on it, and it was like we could figure it out by how old your daughter is.
2.5 years.
2.5, and you were. And do you remember how far along you were?
I think maybe I was about 5 or 6 months.
Okay.
Because I remember walking in and I hadn't really told a lot of people. And Amanda Wyatt was immediately noticed. And
she notices. Oh, she's a noticer.
She notices. And she was like, I think I told her, and she's like, I knew it. I knew you were going to say you're pregnant. And so, yeah, that was 5 months. So and she's almost 2. So like 2.5 years.
Yeah. That's about how long we worked on it.
Yeah. That's the game that we kind of met each other. I mean, we'd seen each other in passing, but
and you walked in at the end of my session to start your session, and I really liked your shoes.
Oh, yeah, the Swedish has-beens. Yeah, and I liked your shoes.
The Seychelles.
The Seychelles. Oh, the black boots. That's right.
I really liked those.
Yeah,
boots.
And then you were telling me about your inserts with the UGG
inserts.
And I was like,
my UGG inserts in my boots. I know. So I bought a pair of boots that are just kind of like yours, and then I put the UGG inserts in, so they're like slippers.
So you're just like sweating your feet off every day?
No, it doesn't make your feet sweaty. It's great. You don't have to wear socks.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I like that.
Best thing I ever
They should just
did.
make a sandal with just the bottom, like a Tiva, so you can see the UGG bottom.
I swear, I think they do.
Okay.
I think UGG makes a sandal like that.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because I was saying it as a joke.
I know. Like, who wants to look at a fuzzy sandal? But I actually think that they did. At least they did it one time.
Yeah.
UGG had like a fuzzy, woolly sandal. Well, woolly sandal.
Yeah, woolly. That sounds terrible.
Doesn't make sense.
I just want a woolly sandal.
Yeah, that's what I need. That's what my wardrobe needs.
Yeah.
A woolly sandal. So my question then to you is, how has having a child, being a mother, changed your career?
Well, I'm sure you know this too. When you have a child, it's your number one priority. So a lot of the pressures that you have about booking jobs or whatnot, I think kind of went away. I mean, not that I didn't want to book work, but you're concentrating on that baby. So that first year that Quinn was born, I worked especially on camera, I worked a lot because I wasn't holding on to it so tight. I was busy. So I was fitting in stuff.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it was really cool. And even when I was pregnant, towards the end of my pregnancy, I was working a lot.
Yeah.
It was weird. But
did you have a comfy pregnancy? Was it a good, did you feel good?
I hated being pregnant because I didn't like it. I was just walking around. I didn't like it. But I had a great pregnancy. I didn't get sick, never threw up. I mean, I had a home birth.
I did too.
You did?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
I loved being pregnant. I never got sick either.
I wish I like that.
I loved being pregnant. Loved it.
And how cool was it to have home birth?
It was crazy.
Crazy.
Were you in a pool? Did you have a little pool?
So I tried to give birth in the pool, but I couldn't bear down. I was also 9 days late. I couldn't bear. So she was born on the toilet. Yep.
Wow.
She almost fell in the toilet.
What an auspicious beginning.
Yeah. It was almost a water birth, but not the kind you want.
But you were sitting straight up. So gravity, it really helps.
Yeah. It was awesome. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
was insane. Mine was insane. My daughter came 10 days early. And so she was like, I'm coming out, so I had a really short, I pushed for 40 minutes.
You're very lucky.
Very lucky.
That's amazing.
But it was fast and hard. It was it was unstoppable. It was crazy. And then when she's born, it's like,
was she born in the tub?
In the water.
That's
no,
cool.
we rented a pool.
Yeah, then we did too.
A pool. And it was mayhem. It was, I think everybody was like, well, we'll just, run the hot water hose into the thing. Well, your hot water heater will fill that much of the pool. Yeah. I mean, it's so big, just like an inch. It will. So they were literally boiling water on 4 burners and trying to keep the water warm. And I'm oblivious,
of course.
But it was crazy. It was very, very, and I was screaming like a banshee. And I had a doula.
Yep.
And she came over to me, and she just and the midwife wasn't there yet, and so the doula came over to me, and she just whispered in my ear. She said, "You need to stop screaming." She said, "And you need to take all that energy and use it to push."
Yeah.
Super calm,
And you were like,
and I was like, okay. And I think probably 2 more pushes and she was out. But it was just all that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
We are talking about childbirth.
No,
Woo!
it is
childbirth
crazy.
in the beehive.
But it's cool though.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's really. I didn't think.
And you chose a home birth.
Yes.
It was full on. Yeah, same here.
Yeah, no, I wasn't like, oh my God, I have a foot coming out of me. I didn't know.
My water broke and I
didn't know I was pregnant. No, I chose it, but I did not think I was going to scream because I was like, I'm going to be tough. I'm not a screamer. Yeah, it's probably not as bad as everyone says. It was so bad. I kept screaming, I'm going to die. I kept saying, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I can't do
this. It feels
this.
that way. I was a real, I'm sure I was very irritating to other women, nobody should give birth in a hospital, and women who use drugs, they've all been told that they don't have the strength as a woman to be, and doctors take over, and our bodies are made to do this. And I was just like totally on my soapbox about.
And then you understood.
And then I understood. I'm like, you know what? Had I been in a hospital, I totally would have had
100%.
drugs. 100% would have had drugs.
Oh, there was moments I was like, how can we get to a hospital? How can we get there? Because I need an epidural. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But if I did it again,
I'd do the same.
I'd do the same, yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
And isn't it crazy? I don't know if you had this experience, but truly, after she was born, done.
Gone.
It's done.
You're
it's
like,
done.
Done. It's in.
And you feel like you got your figure back, like in a second. And then.
It took me a little bit.
No. Feel, not look. We were out like 3 days after she was born, and we actually went to mass. And when we walked in, my husband had the baby, right? So I walk in and I see a friend of mine, and he goes, "Hey, when are you going to give birth?"
Oh,
right?
God.
And I was like, "I did 4 days ago."
Yeah.
But it's like, I gained 40 pounds.
And so did I.
She only weighed 6 pounds. So it's not like I lost a whole lot of weight. In childbirth.
Oh, those women who say they put their jeans on right afterwards. I'm like, give me a break.
Lies.
No way.
Unless it was their pregnancy jeans. Then I would understand.
Yeah, because there was elastic on them. That's why.
Exactly. Most comfortable pants ever. So did things just sort of carry on? Like you were working that when she was born? And
I didn't take a break. I really didn't, because I didn't want to lose any jobs. And in this business, if you're not, sometimes if you don't show up to one session, someone will take your job. Yeah. And that's how it goes.
That's when you know what? I got a job that was Jennifer Hale's. She was the voice of the Tennis Channel, and she had her son.
Wow.
She had her son. She was doing that for several years. She had her son. They brought me in because she was like, "I'm taking a break." They brought me in, and I had it for the next 6 years.
Wow.
So but I'm sure Jennifer was like, "Take it."
Yeah. She was doing all right.
Yeah, she was fine, and I think I think sometimes you do make that choice. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm sure she was aware that might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Jennifer she's a smart cookie.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for that. I was like, no, I'm keeping my job.
I had postpartum depression. So I took myself out for 6 months.
Yeah. That's
I was
tough.
like, I called Rita Benari at SBV, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't leave it. I had anxiety, right? It was depression that manifested in anxiety. I also had vertigo. It was really weird. Oh. So I was like, I can't get in the car.
You needed the time.
Totally. And she was great. She was like, you do what you need. We are here for you.
They supported you. Yeah. That's what
I did work at CBS though. I was doing promos for CBS Daytime, and the producer there, Eve Schultz, I said, I just had a baby. I have a 2-week-old baby. She goes, bring your baby.
Oh, I love that.
So
nice
I kept doing those for the next 2 years. I did them. So Eve will just watched Esther grow up.
That's amazing. Yeah, I've brought Quinn into so many sessions, and Sylvia, the room producer, just takes her and plays with her, and they're so great. Oh, it's so nice. She gets it.
Do you think that happens more with women? I mean, do you think it's
women producers?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, not to say that men are not understanding, but I think that they have a connection to it where they get it. She has a kid, so she understood. It's not that foreign to her,
right? I think it was the same. I think it was the same with Eve. She didn't have children, but I think she was just like, you're a working mother, and so come work,
Yeah, I mean, in the regular 9 to 5s, people get 4 months off and then they come back. I mean,
we don't really do that unless we self-impose it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just stayed working.
Yeah.
And voiceover is the best business for having kids, I think.
I totally agree.
It's such a gift. It's incredible.
Yeah. And the fact that so much work happens from home.
Yeah, most of it. All your auditioning is from home. You go in for sessions, but you're never there all day.
Right.
You know, the most you'll be in there is 4 hours.
Right. Exactly.
And that's amazing.
It is.
I get to spend so much time with my daughter.
I know. It's great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fantastic.
I would never trade that in for anything.
And then when they're older, then it's like there's so much independence. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So much once they're in junior high and high school. And
Yeah, I can't. Quinn is starting preschool soon. And
oh my God,
I'll
it's going to
finally
go
get
so fast.
I know. I'm already sad.
I
Just
know.
to like buy her a backpack is like so sad.
I know.
But that's how it goes.
I have a friend who just had a baby. She's like almost 3 months old now. And I
Aw.
just saw her and I was like, oh,
It's the best.
I know. They're just so squishy.
Oh, so cute.
And I know.
Yeah.
Such a great age. All right, Melanie, we're going to play Beehive Roulette.
Okay.
So we're going to set up the studio here a little bit
Oh, okay.
because you have to spin the
Oh,
wheel.
there's an actual
I know.
wheel.
Can you
in
believe
here.
it? You're the first.
Are you serious?
You're going to be the first to spin the wheel.
I'm the virgin to this
Wheel spinner.
Wheel spinner.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Isn't that just great? So I
Yes.
have this list of questions. There are 50 of them. And
Okay.
so there are numbers on there, 50, right?
So I spin,
So
and
you
then
spin.
wherever it goes, then
There are like 3 or 4 numbers in the little, because there are only 14 little
Okay.
areas, right? So there are multiple numbers
Okay.
in the little
Let me
area.
take a look
So-
at this thing.
Yeah, go ahead and take a look and see.
Okay.
See? See what I mean? So you'll spin it, choose which number you want of the 4.
In that 4. Okay.
And then tell me, and then I'll read the question. But I'm going to set you up. Okay, so I have Melanie all set up here in front of the.
This is very exciting.
isn't
I
it-
do feel like I'm on a game show,
Right?
and I've never been on a game show, but I've always wanted to
I
be
really
on one.
seriously need a Vanna White. I need somebody.
You
to-
should hire Vanna White just to come in for this session. For this
I know,
podcast.
just for the last half.
Yeah.
like come in.
Maybe
the
you can have her
last-
clean a little bit. She should do some cleaning. Not that you need it. I'm saying, she could also be a housekeeper.
You do. This
No,
room-
that's not
this
what
is
I
the
meant
room that does
at
need it.
all. That it came across like that.
No, it was.
Maybe you get her to clean up a
Yeah,
bit.
just clean.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
work it out.
perhaps somebody could dust in here.
No. Gosh.
That was perfect. Okay, so
Spin to
let's
win.
see. Yeah, spin to win, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Okay, good. Okay, so I have my questions in front of me. Go ahead and give her a spin.
All right, here we go. All right. I'm going to go with 28.
All right, number 28. Who was the last person you talked to on the phone?
Oh, I would say my fiance, Mitch.
Like
Yeah.
you actually
Like, oh, you mean like literally or like
Spoke.
conversation? Oh, no, you know what? I just spoke to one of my best friends from home, Amy. And we spoke, we both.
Amy from Brooklyn?
Amy, well, she lives in Westchester now, and she's got a kid.
She lives in Westchester.
Yeah, she's asking me when I'm moving back. You know what I said? Never. No winters for me, thank
No winters
you.
for me. I'm done with the winters.
Yeah.
Okay, spin again.
Okay, 13.
13, ladies and gentlemen. 13. How many push-ups can you do? Melanie Minichino.
Gosh. You know, actually, I could probably do. I haven't done them in a while, but I'm holding Quinn all day, so I got some guns. I don't know. Are you gonna test me? I'll say, 30. Is that a lot? I have no idea. I could probably do 30. Okay, well, let's say 15. We'll go with 15.
Okay. Because I'm like,
See how fast
30?
I changed that? 15.
I'm going to have to test you on that one.
15. I'm on 15.
All right, 15. 15 I buy.
Yeah.
Okay. Give her a spin.
32.
What's your favorite sport?
To watch or to play? You know what? Soccer. I love watching soccer. When I first moved out here, I was on a soccer team.
Wow, so you play and you watch.
That's right. Yeah, I'm Italian. You have to like soccer.
I'm Italian.
Yeah.
All right, you got to spin that
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Come on, like, got to go round.
35.
Scary movie or happy ending?
I like being on my toes. Scary movie.
Scary movie.
Yeah, why not? I like
not?
feeling a little anxious sometimes.
It does keep you on your toes.
All right, I really gave it a good spin there.
Good.
38.
Name a favorite childhood memory.
I had the worst childhood. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we lived in Italy till I was about 5. It was really fun. I had lots of cousins and really good food, and everyone took care of you. And yeah, it was nice.
Like familia.
Yeah, it was nice. So that I would say that whole period was really. I mean, I had a fine childhood, but that was
That's
highlight.
pretty extra special.
Yeah, that was highlight.
Do you speak Italian?
I do. When I moved there, I didn't speak a language yet, so it was my first language, and then I kept it.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, spin again.
Let's go. 1.
Were you named after anyone?
No. No.
You sound really disappointed.
Yeah,
about
I
that.
wish I had some like cool. Actually, my name was going to be Milena, which now or Melania, which now I'm glad that wasn't my name, to be honest. But for the longest time, I was like, that's so much more exotic than Melanie. And my father, I'll never forget, when I was like 18, was like, you can still change it back to that. Like, he really wanted that name, but then they just went for Melanie. There's no history. They just named me Melanie. It's a fine name, I guess.
It's a fine name.
It's okay. I don't love it. Okay.
All right, Spinaroo.
21.
Who do you miss the most?
I really miss my family in New York, my parents, that they can't be here for my child.
Yeah.
So that, I miss that.
Do you take her there?
Yeah, we go a lot. We're actually going in a couple of weeks. We go all the time. So
Yeah,
we get
it
this.
is very different than actually living there. And,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
don't see her on a regular basis. I used to, have dinner with my family every Sunday, and we don't do that. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
miss that.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
All right.
Am I still going here?
You are.
Okay. 40.
What's your favorite dessert?
Oh, ice cream. Ice cream. A nice, apple pie a la mode. Simple. This is the best.
Yum.
Yeah. There you go.
Excellent. All right, you got 3 more spins.
Okay. They're doubled up here. Yeah. so-
Oh, I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
5.
Number 5.
That's my lucky number.
What's your favorite lunch meat?
First of all, I hate the word lunch meat. It is the worst.
It's kind of gross.
Lunch meat.
Lunch meat.
But I like mortadella. Mortadella. I really like that.
Have you ever been to Bay Cities?
Of course.
Of course. All
Yeah.
right. Do you have a godmother when you go?
So I never. I like it simple. I like mortadella or prosciutto with like a little cheese and olive oil.
That's
I
it.
can't like stack it up because then it all tastes like the same to me.
Oh my God.
It becomes like lunch meat. It's like lunch meat.
It's actually just lunch. Is what it is.
Yeah.
You really should at some point just try a godmother.
Okay, what's in it? You don't know. It's
Great
just,
things.
It's good.
Oh, well, it's meat.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like
Maybe some roasted peppers.
mortadella in it. There's cheese. There are peppers, and you can get mild or hot.
Spicy.
There's lettuce, tomato, and this yummy, just like mess of mustard and mayonnaise.
Oh,
And
I
and
hate mustard.
I have to say, you can ask for no
All right, we'll do
mustard,
it on the side.
but it's the bread.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
their bread is insane, which you would get on a prosciutto with the
Yeah.
little,
Okay, next time I go, I'm going to get it for
Just
you. I'm
try
going
it.
to take a picture and send it to
Yeah,
you.
perfect.
The godmother.
The godmother.
Okay. 10.
Do you still have your tonsils?
Yes. Yep.
And that's what makes her a successful voice actor,
That's
ladies
right.
and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Tonsils. All right, one more.
18.
Well, this is apropos. What is your favorite ice cream?
Oh, gosh. Really? It's vanilla. I love Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream.
Oh, that's really good.
It's
ice
just
cream.
good. It's like simple. You know, it's like probably got so many chemicals in there.
No,
You don't
they
think?
don't.
Really?
No, Haagen-Dazs is not a chemical-laden ice cream.
Okay, well then I feel better about it.
Yeah, you should try McConnell's too.
Oh, I love McConnell's too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But I
awesome.
like to stick simple. I don't
Yeah.
like putting a lot of stuff simple.
Love it. Okay, I have one last question.
Yeah.
That's you don't choose, I choose.
Oh,
so,
okay.
if heaven exists,
Oh.
Melanie Minichino, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You do not have to slate your name or agency because you got the part. You can relax.
Oh, good.
No worries. You're good. You got the part. You're here. That's what I like. Because
Fantastic.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
perfect.
Has anyone ever said that?
No, nobody's ever said that.
Good.
Nobody's ever said that. Melanie Minichino, thank you so much for being in the Beehive.
thanks for having me. This
Oh,
was so fun.
Before we go, where can people find you on social media?
Okay, well, my Instagram is Mel Mini, Melmini, and my Twitter is Mel Minichino. You can just go ahead and look that up. And then, of course, I have a website, melanieminichino.com.
Perfect. And it's Minichino.
Yeah,
All right.
Minichino, like the lighting on set.
Perfect.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
That was so fun.
Thanks for joining me today in the Beehive. For podcast notes, pictures, and more information on my guests, visit the podcast website, thebeehivepodcast.com. Find me at my website, kbess.com. Follow me on Twitter at kbess, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. If you've a mind to, please post a review of the podcast on iTunes. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and good for the bones. Come back for more Women in Voiceover next time in the Beehive.